Testing. Okay. How are you guys doing? So I'm up late again. Started my day late yet again. And I need to do some skincare right now. So we're going to be having this convo probably without cards because I'm not trying to get any of my skincare on my cards. I'm like, whew, 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 whew. Okay. So I asked what we were going to talk about, and what I heard is New World, same deception. New World, same deception. So, how many of you are reeling just absolutely discombobulated about the whole TikTok thing? How many of y'all? Let me turn on
booster mode.
booster mode, level 1. Hold on. Let me get some stuff on my face. I have not taken care of my skin in a while, so I definitely need to. How many of you are like weirded out that it actually was taken offline? Because, while I was live last night, my husband sent me a notification that he got on his phone. Let me find it. It says, we regret that U.S. law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19 and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. And it says, we're working to restore our service in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned. So I was still live when he was getting that. Okay, I was still live. And I was like, I don't care. Because I don't. And then later, after the live, right? After, a couple hours after, actually, I still had access. I don't know if you guys, your access was already cut, but I still absolutely had access. And the only time my access was cut was when I went on the app to try and download some of my videos, because guess who finally was able to get her shit together enough to open a red note. Right? And that's when I got a notification myself. My notification said, okay, wait, hold on. There's too much coordination for me. Too much. Let me get it. My notification said, where is it? I don't even know where it is. Oh, here it is. Mine said, a law banning TikTok has been enacted in the US. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. Now, all of this to me is reading as absolute bullshit. Bull caca. Okay, so first and foremost, how did they choose what date they were going to deactivate TikTok? New world, same deception. And that first part, new world what? New world order. Okay. How did they choose the 19th? Because they were trying to get it banned before he took office, right? Something like that. They could have done the first. They could have chosen the 1st. They could have chosen the 5th. They could have chosen the 10th. Why just the day before his inauguration? Because the reality is this, okay? If you sell on TikTok, if you are monetized on TikTok in any way, shape, or form, they force you to give your tax information. They force you so that they can send you a W-9. 2 minutes. Thank you, babe. They force you. Okay. So in the US, what does that mean? That means whatever money you make off of TikTok, that is taxable income. That means this government takes a portion of it. They don't want to miss out on their profits off of you. They'll take it down for a day, maybe 2 days. I don't know. No more than a week. Because they want to minimize the loss of revenue that they will also incur should you not be able to make income. Okay. So in the span of an hour, 2 hours, no more than 3 hours, it went from, sorry, we had to take TikTok down, the government's being mean, to guess what? Trump is going to be president soon, and he's going to help us get this back to you. What does that create? 3 minutes. Girl, you're going too fast for me. You're going too fast. You're going too fast. Slow down. Slow down. I can't even do my routine properly. Okay. So what does that create? If you take away something from a child for an hour, my gosh, they want it so bad. They don't ever want to, do anything to step out of line to get it taken away again, right? And whoever gives it back, that's their savior. Whoever gives them back their toys, their savior. Whoever it is that gets them whatever they're craving back in their hands, that is their savior. So everything is being done in such a way to create, first off, a dependency, right? An elevated, okay, my God, an elevation in your awareness of what you want and how you are being deprived of the very thing you want. They've already conditioned our brains for immediate gratification. That is just, yeah. A lot of people have a real struggle with immediate gratification. It's not uncommon for people to have this expectation of, I want it now, which, I sometimes feel that too. It doesn't make you a bad person, but we need to be aware of the very things that we are being programmed to think and feel is the norm, is the expectation. The entitlement needs to stop, right? Back when I was much younger, you had to wait like a week, 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. Biash, I'm not done. Hold on. I gotta do the next part. Okay, so we did that. No, don't turn off. Okay, thank you.
Booster mode, level 1.
No, that's not what I want. I want, yes. Let's go ahead and do level 3. So we get to a point where it's like we're so accustomed to getting everything so fast that it creates a frenzy in our minds if we don't have the very thing we want. That entitlement has really, really gone out of control. So what needs to happen now? We need to begin recognizing the ways in which we have allowed ourselves to be programmed in ways that are really not beneficial for us. It's not beneficial for you. Okay. What you need to do is just breathe during this period that TikTok is done. They're going to bring it back up. It was never going to stay down, please. I wish. A mofo wish. I wish it would stay down. But no, it's not going to stay down.
1 minute passed.
I know. Just relax, girl. So a lot of what's happening, there is a maneuvering that's occurring to get you into a space of trusting the very things and people that might not be worthy of your trust. Okay. I can't talk about it too in depth simply because of the fact that, you know, it's not something that I'm being told I'm supposed to talk about by soul. We have to get to a point where we can begin seeing things exactly for what they are. One of the most dangerous things is for us to question. When you question the deception, you begin to recognize the ways in which you are being deceived. Okay? I see what has happened in the last 8 years. Okay? The last 8 years. I have seen what has been happening in the last 8 years as a long game being set up and the end game being enacted now. Okay? What do you think the end game actually is? We're trying to encourage lymphatic drainage, but we're also trying to encourage collagen production. Okay? We're trying to encourage all of it. We're just trying to encourage. What do you think they're trying to do? So back in September, am I allowed to talk about this on YouTube? Back in September, there was something that was pushed through the UN. You guys will have to look that up yourselves, or if anyone here with us would like to share what that is, you absolutely can.
3 minutes past.
Stop brushing me. I'm not even doing my face symmetrically at this point. It's too much for my brain to coordinate. If one of y'all want to share with everyone what was passed in September, you're absolutely free to do so in the comments. But there was something that was passed that gives quite a bit of control globally to a specific organization. And this type of control, people in the US think that it won't happen here. It absolutely will happen here as well. It will happen everywhere. It will happen globally. All right. Yes, Nancy. There's only specific reasons, specific types of reasoning why they're allowed to come in. Right? And when they do come in, this has already been agreed to. When they do come in, the Constitution will be suspended. It could be indefinitely. It could be, we don't know. We don't know. And there's only a couple reasons why they could do that. It would have to be something that's declared some level of crisis that we would need help from an organization outside of our own. And I think a lot of what's happening is a setup for that. And people might say, like, oh my God, Emmy's become a conspiracy theorist. I've been I was for a while, years ago, in early 2000s. And these are the things that the circles that I chose to be part of in the early 2000s. These are the things that they had been talking about. The things that
Session complete.
the things that are happening right now, the things that we're seeing taking place, it's all kind of coming to fruition. All of it. The way it was said way back when, before it became cool to be a truther. Because after it became cool to be a truther, they only allowed it to be cool because they already infiltrated. They already entered into those communities and they were already sharing controlled opposition. So this whole TikTok thing, it's going to blow over, but it's causing a lot of stress for a lot of people, right? You give a conspiracy enough years, it eventually is proven as truth, as fact, that these things were happening. Don't think that they would never do that to their own people. Tuskegee, look that up. What happened there? They intentionally infected people in the US with, I believe it was syphilis. And I believe they also withheld treatment just to see what would happen. These people did not agree, okay? They did not agree to be infected with anything. They were unaware. Let's just let this soak in. Oh, it's so squishy. It's so squishy on my skin. I love it. Okay. We're going to let this. Let me reset my vagus nerve real quick. All right. So, okay. All right. Play out my hands too. Let me go ahead and rub this in first and foremost. Okay, now I'm going to get some cards for us. So a lot of this deception that's happening, they're involving aliens, they're involving all kind of stuff. A lot of what needs to happen is already happening, okay? We need to begin questioning, and I think people have begun questioning, but they've only been questioning one aspect, one direction, one story. You have to question across the board because all of it goes together, right? All of it goes together. It fits together, and it's just something that is really hard for us to believe. If your brain and your heart does not function in that way, it's extremely difficult for you, for me, to think that someone would do this to other people with zero provocation. Zero provocation. San Francisco in the 1950s, they put germs in the fog to see how quickly the virus would spread through the populace. Yeah, that happened. That happened. You can look it up yourself. That did, in fact, happen. So 1950s, 2000s, that's 50 years, right? Plus another 25. 75 years ago, they tested technology. They tested the efficacy of bio warfare technology. You guys don't think it's a curious thing that there's been weird ass fog? You guys don't think it's a curious thing that your cough won't go away? Try this. Wear a mask every single time you go out. Let's see if you continue to cough. Pay attention. Pay attention, okay? Do you cough every time 30 minutes or so after you've gone outside to run errands, to go to the store real quick, to go to work, right? Is it because you have a virus that won't go away? Or is it because you're inhaling something that's been dispersed through the air? I mean, I don't know. I don't have the answers. I do, but TikTok will take us down. This is for entertainment. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking as many questions as I possibly can ask in the time frame that I have. What do we need to do? We need to stop complying. Why would you wear a mask when you're told to wear a mask and there's clearly no need, scientific proof that there's no need to wear a mask, that is not going to protect you from what they say is being spread. But now that you really do need to wear a mask, you're not going to wear one because you're not told by the organizations that have had no interest in your health and wellness for as long as they've existed. Why are you waiting for them to tell you? Why are you waiting for them to tell you? I have really dry chapped lips. I'm just really trying to push all of this in. This is how I look when I go to bed. Just gotta drain the lymphatic system. So everything that's been happening has been attacking the lymphatic system. Why? And I'm not speaking in medical terms. They're gonna take this fucking video down. They're so gonna take this down. I'm not speaking in medical terms. I'm speaking energy wise. Right? Energy wise. There is information that was discovered during the Gateway program that the CIA was running. This was many years ago. The CIA was running a program called the Gateway program. And then it piggybacked, they got additional information from the children by way of the GATE program, Gifted and Talented Education Program. Right? It's okay. I'm live across like 8 platforms right now. I'm live across 8 platforms. We just have to go to one of the other platforms and, download it. So they went ahead and they got additional, hi Rochelle. They went ahead and they got additional information from the children by way of the GATE program. They began to recognize that those who have MTHFR multi-gene mutation are people who have a higher tendency, like a much higher tendency to, in fact, have access to advanced, higher sensory perception. They're gifted in ways that are not educational. Yeah. So one of my siblings, the one closest to me in age, he was in the GATE program. He scored so well that he was in a specialized GATE class. And then he's like 2 years older than me, right? And then it became a thing where when I was in 3rd grade, because he was in 4th grade when he was in the GATE program. When I was in 3rd grade, towards the end of the year, a whole bunch of kids were tested for the GATE program to see who would be able to be put in this special class, right? And they got like special opportunities. Being in that class, you get special opportunities. And I went into that testing. I remember I was in 3rd grade and I had so much anxiety. Like I was shaking taking the test. And so I ended up not scoring high enough. And I don't know, I think maybe I was being hidden simply because there were so many questions where I went back and I erased my answer and I selected a different answer. And I'm pretty sure I had the right answer to begin with. And something was instructing me to go back, erase the answer that I had selected at first, and go ahead and select something else. So I'm pretty sure I was being hidden in plain sight. I in fact, was not part of the program. And yeah, there's a lot of different things that are being done to gather information. They started doing this a while back. For many of us, we were still children and they were already gathering information. In the 70s, a husband and wife found information. They were also gifted, but they found information pointing to the fact that a group of souls was incarnating, had been incarnating. They're the ones who began all of this talk about the indigo children. They were made aware there would be certain waves. And Dolores Cannon went ahead, and her work was then used to further perpetuate, further gain understanding. Perpetuate would not be the right word. Further gain understanding of how there are, in fact, numerous waves of children, souls who will be born, obviously, as children, who have higher and higher octaves of potentiality. So they've known since at least the 70s, probably earlier than that, that there would in fact be a point where humans could no longer be controlled and manipulated. The last of the generations that will still follow the rules blindly. We're getting old. We're getting old. I myself, I'm the tail end of that. I'm a 70s baby. I'm the tail end of it. Indigo children continued to incarnate until the early 80s. By mid 80s, they pretty much already stopped. There's always a several year gap between the waves of consciousness. So they knew. And all of this research has really been done quietly to first try and identify who are these people, try and map the way they think. And then also by way of epigenetics, because they were studying this for a very long time. All of this is conspiracy and for entertainment. By way of epigenetic information, exposing you to specific types of compounds, environments, emotional stressors, things like that, that would trigger unraveling of specific codes, distortions, molecular compaction would be advanced, accelerated, and the likelihood of you being able to are one of the things that people have speculated has been an efficient way to negatively impact your epigenetics is by exposing you to the synergistic toxicity of heavy metals along with glyphosate. That's something that some people have speculated. And if you want to read more about the potentiality of this, a causal relationship, you can look up the work of Dr. Stephanie Seneff. She speaks on synergistic toxicity in regards to glyphosate and heavy metals. Her advanced work, she's not anti anything. This is just the byproduct of the work that she does. She has access to backdoor information from the adverse reaction reporting system. Yeah, I know. I'm hardwired into my router, and it said my internet connection was suspended for a moment. Yeah. So her work, she began to see patterns, and she began to realize that there is, in fact, some degree of causal relationship. I believe part of what she was studying was the MMR. The MMR. I can't say it. Anytime I say that type of word, I know for a fact the video gets taken down. I get a notice and the video is deleted. So I can't say that word. Starts with a V. Uh-huh. Yeah. So a lot of what's happening is information is trickling out, right? And again, people are going to be like, that's why they shut TikTok down. Well, no, they shut TikTok down to get you into a space of thinking that TikTok and the individual who will miraculously bring TikTok back that they have your best interest at heart. Do they? I doubt it. I doubt it. And my hands are still super duper moisturized. It's going to make my hair look stringy and oily. Okay, we're just going to have to be like this. So let's pull some cards now. Oh no. Okay, that's okay. I believe that this year there's going to be a lot of changes. And if you don't pay attention to the changes that are being suggested, to the changes that you will most likely not benefit from, then I think part of what will happen is you will begin to also degrade in your ascension mechanics. A lot of what's happening right now, I believe, I'm speculating, of course, a lot of what's happening right now is intended to degrade your ascension mechanics. It's to stop you from undoing the phase locking that has been forced upon everyone. Some of us have already undone the phase locking. And it's usually the people who are not interested in making any of these claims and like this ego-based, I've already ascended. Oh, I can reach high frequencies. Oh, I can handle this and that. And, you know, it's usually not those people. It's usually the people who are like, oh, that's interesting. But like, am I healing properly? Am I doing everything that I need to do? Is it time for me to look at myself even deeper? You know, all of those different things, right? Most of the people who've already, well, no, all of the people who have already gone through that phase locking removal, the phase locking undoing, they are so focused on their journey. They're not trying to be the next anybody. They're just not. They're not interested in any of that. There's no compete, there's no compare, there's none of that. There's not anything to do with trying to prove their positioning within society. They're simply existing and trying their best to heal as much of the trauma that they have endured through childhood, through young adulthood, even all the way through till this point. Because many of us who are here to help further something, we've gone through tremendous amounts of trauma. Why? Because we deserve to be punished? Because we have a shitty family? No. Every detail of your life was custom selected by your soul to cultivate specific characteristics that were already something that was going to be part of your primary character. Your higher self selected specific events, specific experiences to ensure that that turns on. I cannot be the person that I am right now had I not gone through everything that I went through. And you have to get very clear about what you are viewing about yourself and your life. We're entering into a new world order. I don't like that. But we are. We're entering into a new world order, right? So what does that mean? Oh, my hair is going to be frizzy. I shouldn't have combed it. it's going to be frizzy. Hold on. This is going to drive me nuts. Okay. Let's just... Okay, don't touch my face. New World Order. People like to go ahead and have these terms that they talk about. And these terms are something where their expectation of proof that this is happening is something like out of a movie. No, they amplify and exaggerate concepts in movies. This will happen in a much, much more subtle, very covert manner. There has been a theater of war that has been being waged against all of us our entire lives. Some of us, it's been evident with carpet bombings of different areas of your region. For most of us, we've been experiencing this theater of war by way of psychological warfare. The most effective, most efficient tool in psychological warfare is Hegelian dialectic. I've been talking about this for 20 something years at this point. I've literally been talking about this since like 2001. And people are like, what is that? It's how you're going to be effed over if you don't pay attention. That's how you get effed over. They create a problem, wait for everyone to get into a frenzy over it. Then they offer a solution. Like, we could do this. I mean, if you guys want to, we could do this, but I mean, only if you want to. And then, of course, they will withhold that until we beg for it. And then, of course, they'll implement it after we beg for it. I mean, you're begging for it. So here you go. You can have it. Except what we don't realize is they created the problem to begin with. And the solution that they're offering, that we are now asking for, that's what they wanted you to do in the first place, but you would have fought them if they forced you. Instead, now you're begging for it. You're begging for it, right? So a lot of what's happening, has to do with, like right now, a lot of what's happening has to do with clearing pathways for specific constructions that are going to be implemented. Anything with the word smart in front of it, anything with the word smart in front of it. So much absolute real terror. Smart. S-M-A-R-T. So much absolute real terror. Your smartphones. Let's start with that. Smartphones. So much absolute real terror. Violation of your privacy. They're talking about the violation, TikTok, privacy, this and that. You say anything in front of your phone, all of your ads will be customized to what you are saying by your phone. I remember it was like 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. I don't remember exact date. There was this one gal, like, the idiocracy of it all. So I used to have, I have Google AdSense, right? And someone had said that I should go ahead and inject code into my website that allows Google to run ads. So it's like monetizing my website. I have since removed it. I didn't like the experience. So this person was shopping on my website and they were breached. After a point, they were in fact breached. And they thought it would be smart to try and shame me publicly in the comments of a public post by saying, Emmy, what's up with you? I was shopping on your website and all the ads are about black magic and witchcraft. I'm like, well, what are you talking about in your phone? What type of conversations are you having? Because when I go on my website, it's all about Crocs. That was back in, I think, 2017, 2018. They're customized to whatever you say. there's been all sorts of lawsuits for Google. There's a lawsuit, I believe, right now, class action suit against Apple because Siri's been spying on you. Yeah. I hadn't talked to my bestie at the time for, I don't know, 6, 7 months. Our lives get busy because we have kids. This was years ago, before I think this was like 2013. And she was going to come over. I hadn't seen her in quite a few months, haven't spoken, but she knew that we were going to prepare to leave. We were preparing to move. And so she was like, hey, I'll come over. I'll watch the kids while you organize some stuff. Or if you tell me what to do, I can figure out, I'll start to pack some of the kids' toys. And I was like, sure, come over. And she tells me, oh, first I have to stop by Starbucks. Do you want anything? This via chat. I was like, no, I can't drink coffee. All my ads and the content on Facebook from that point forward was about coffee ads, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, everything, right? So this is something that's been happening for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. If you look at my phone, right? The front of my phone, camera's covered. Back, camera's covered. But here's the thing. Yes, the main camera is covered, but there's several more on the side of it. There's videos out there where someone is recording something and they're being recorded, right? And they're scrolling through their phone. And every few seconds, there's something scanning their face. Your psychological profile already exists. However long you stay on a post, what happens with your eyes, your facial expression as you're viewing that content is being recorded. Years ago, you guys have heard about Snowden? That's his name, right? Snowden. I think that's his name, Snowden. I think that's his name. Yeah. He can never come back to the US. Why? Because he let us know how much our privacy is being violated by the NSA. Everything you say near your phone, every keystroke is recorded, even if you delete it, even if you delete the messages. And I know this for a fact because, in 2017, there was someone who was attempting to extort me. I know, right? I've been through some weird shit in life. So there was someone who was really trying to extort me back in 2017. And they defrauded me of nearly $2,000. And at first, all the things they were trying, I was negating it, and they weren't successful. And then finally, they were able to defraud me of close to $2,000. And I could have fought it. I could have gone ahead and also filed a small claim, go to a small claims court. And I know I would have won that. There's so much. I keep all the evidence, all the logs of every single session, everything. Everything is always just archived. And I was like, no, you know what? No, fuck that. Keep that money. I'm going to the FBI. I have evidence of hit and run. I have evidence of income tax evasion. Because this person was telling me all kind of stuff. I'm like, what are you fucking telling me this for? Right? There's admission of all sorts of different things, right? And of course, before I ever respond to it, that shit's screenshot. It's screenshot because, hey, remember, I grew up with a narcissist. You're not going to spew out words and then retract them and gaslight me into thinking you did not say any of that and that I'm just delusional. So everything in my life is documented. I submitted all of this stuff via the online reporting form, and it was a valid claim, none of it made up. Wouldn't you know, I was assigned an FBI agent. I didn't think it would go anywhere. I was assigned an FBI agent. And not only did he email me, we got on a phone call. We scheduled a phone call, and he wanted to gather more information so that he had a very clear idea of exactly what was happening. So we get on that phone call, and he's asking me something along the lines of, does he have any other victims? And I was telling him, I know he coordinates a lot of things on social media. I've been shown some things, posts. I have him blocked, so I don't see it, but I do get the screenshots from a lot of my viewers who are still friends with him and are choosing to monitor him. They weren't asked to, they're choosing to monitor him, and they give me all of this information. And I'm sure he's deleted it by now. And the FBI agent tells me, oh, no, that's fine. Every keystroke on social media is logged. It doesn't matter if you don't post it. It doesn't matter if you delete the post. In fact, every conversation is also logged. Doesn't matter. We can pull all of that up. So I'm going to be his friend for the next couple months, and we're going to find out exactly what's happening. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He let me know all of that is logged. Yep. Whether you delete it or not, incognito or not, all of that is logged. All of it. So now, with everything that I'm sharing with you guys, they're no longer afraid of the consequences because we've allowed it for so long. We've been told. We've absolutely been told. We've been made aware, and we did nothing about it. So now it's something where it's very similar to when you're in an abusive relationship, right? Where they know you will take that disrespect. They can call you out of your name, and they know you'll be mad, but you get over it. There's no consequence. It's like that. Even if you know, you're not going to do anything about it. So it's fine. It's all good. We'll get away with it. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Okay. This is not good. Okay. So it starts now, and it's going to take until autumn for all of this to really be undeniable. I think for those of you who are watching right now, you are probably going to be much more aware much sooner than everyone in your circle. You'll begin to see some of the really covert things that have been being plotted and planned for quite some time now. You probably see it before the end of spring. That Pokemon thing helped the computers map regions that had or still have people playing. My husband plays that all the fucking time. I hope my family knows that if we ever have to leave this area because of extreme danger or whatever, I'm throwing all their phones out the car. I hope they know that. I've said it. I think they think I won't. You're not going to be playing Pokemon, okay? Yeah. No. It's also been tracking people's level of compliancy. Like, how compliant will you be? How much are you willing to do in order to get some type of reward, right? And that reward is not even a tangible thing. So, yeah. This masculine in reverse, this is that extremely volatile, extremely destructive, convoluted Atlantean consciousness. It's that mindset. And that's the mindset, the fallen patriarchy of Atlantis. That's the mindset that's going to come fully forward through 2025. Notice how I'm not speaking on any type of extinction level events. Notice how I'm not speaking on apocalyptic anything. No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Oh, I gotta show you guys this. Hold on. Where did I put it? This is from, was it, how do you pronounce it? Daigle? This is from a government website. Is it this? Yeah, I'll just show you guys the screenshot of the video. You can look for the information yourself online. The screenshot of the video. So let's go ahead. This is the United States population in 2017, the estimated population in 2025, and the general population change. Yeah, I'll see that, right? 316,440,000 people in 2017. By 2025, they expect it to be 99,553,100 people, a reduction of 68.5% of our population just in the United States alone. And un momento, por favor. Hold on. Let me. I don't know if I still have the video on here, to be honest. I might not. That video that I took a screenshot of. Was it this? Okay. I will share this. This is the actual video, right? 2025 population global forecast published May 26th, 2024. So you see that, right? May 26th, 2024. Let me, because they used audio from Lord of the Rings. So I can't play that. Look at this population change. Negative, negative, everything negative, 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 negative. You can slow it down if you want. It's all negatives. It's all negatives. All populations are being reduced in 2025. It's all negatives. I'll pause it. Negative, 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 everything negative. What is the likelihood of that? What is happening that is their prediction? It's not just a slowdown in the birth of new babies. It's a full-on reduction. A full-on reduction in the number of people. What is that about? I know you know, Teresa. I know you would know. It's something that they don't want to take responsibility for, right? Let's talk about California real quick. All of this for entertainment purposes, speculation, theories, whatever. There's nothing that I can prove. Just want to say that right off the bat. So I'm just thinking out loud, basically. I still haven't come across anyone in SoCal south of the fires, right? San Diego, Temecula, Juarupa Valley. I still have not come across people who are shouting from the rooftops how they are being absolutely smoked out by all of that smoke from all those horrendous fires north of them. I mean, really, it's just like 45 minutes, hour, 2 hours away. The smoke should have reached them already. It should have reached them. I've been seeing reports of extremely high winds in excess of 100 miles per hour. And I saw these reports after I had said, well, they would need winds high enough to push that smoke and fallout past the Grapevine. That's a mountain range. The Grapevine, it separates the Central Valley from Southern California. If they push it north of that, if they're able to, you know where it lands? All of that furniture, all of those chemicals used to make houses, they produce dioxin. Highly, highly cancerous. Remember there was that trail derailment and they allowed it to catch fire? That was dioxin as well. And then the precipitation went ahead and poisoned water supplies on the East Coast. It even entered into the Mississippi River. So what's that mean? Well, the Central Valley from down right above the Grapevine all the way till almost the Oregon state line. That's where we grow most of our produce that's spread through the entire country. It's shipped out. Anyone who lives in Northern California likes to go to SoCal. You drive through all of that. Orchards, fields and fields and fields, tons of mother effing cows, like Bakersfield, or no, Los Banos. God, it stank. Los Banos area, Bakersfield area. This hella cows, mountains of cow poop there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if your lymphatic system is not able to clear cellular toxins, cellular waste, and then you're being overwhelmed through the ingestion and inhalation of additional toxins, what do you think is going to happen? This is something that we did not initiate. We did not cause this. This is something that was pre-planned. The waters have been tainted. The waters have been tainted. It's to prevent you from being able to clear things out. Yep, whether you agree or not. whether you agree or not. A lot of the things that we're being exposed to affect the length of your telomeres. You shorten those telomeres, you shorten your lifespan. Look up the research. Look it up. A lot of these things will cause your mitochondria to have issues. That is the birthright your mother gifted you. Mm-hmm. When that happens, your guardians will no longer be able to stand by your side. Your IP address, your etheric IP address will be altered. You will effectively you'll be severed from your divinity. Anything that changes you on a genetic level, if the genetic changes are enough, if it mutates your genetics enough, that's the equivalent of changing your IP address. And that connection will be severed. That is how they will effectively phase lock you. Amber Ray begins to tap into the lower densities of Christic consciousness. Yeah. That's the banding of frequency that's utilized to allow for the transmission of Christic consciousness down into the density of your fascia and flesh. The Amber Ray. How can you undo most of this? By beginning to respect your needs as a physical body, a human being, as well as your energetic needs, soul level needs. You have to create circles of protection around you. You have to connect the dots and create circles of protection. Just had someone do an interesting study on the giant trees and the network root system across the world, tied into the ley lines with a circuit board theory. They tie into the ley lines because the trees, they originally had a covenant with creation to filter and clear the nasty energies that are dumped into the ley lines. It's the electromagnetic pollution. It was to help keep us operating on a higher level of dimensional awareness and consciousness. Because when I say us, we really do come from angelic lineage. Yes, it was the Anunnaki that was doing all of the bioenergetic hybridization testing, but they were using tissue samples, code samples from fallen angelics from Melchizedek line. So originally, the trees were transported here, and it's kind of like when you set up a fish tank. When you set up a fish tank and you have to let the system run for quite some time before you introduce fish into it, like especially like a saltwater tank. It's a very specialized, very delicate balance that has to be kept. So you just allow it to continue to run for weeks or months on end, right? And then, you can go ahead and introduce your bougie ass fish into your bougie ass tank. So it's kind of like that. They put the trees here first and allow them to really create a network so that they could communicate and be able to maintain a homeostasis type state for the entire biodome. We were in a biodome. It's a biodome of multi-levels. And yeah, I don't know. Alchemists, we need to change the outcome that's about to happen. We won't do it by intention, and the ethos is definitely in reverse. So this is not something that we can only intend to do. The mindset that is the dominant mindset is a very corrupted, very convoluted mindset at this point. Even in spiritual communities, it is very, very distorted. So much comparison, so much competition, so much ego based everything. Ego based everything. Everything. So you're going to have to step out on the limb and start thinking for yourself. I don't know what you guys are specialized in, so I don't know what you need to do. You're going to have to go out on that limb and start thinking for yourselves, because if you're waiting for someone, including me, if you're waiting for someone to kind of tell you how to move through this, I will just be blunt. You will fail in your attempts. Because even if the person you're listening to has integrity, they don't know the specific path that you're supposed to be on. They don't know. Oh, I had a session the other day, and this session was for a soul-based business mentorship. It was like a 2-hour session. And the person who booked it, they didn't book it for themselves. They booked it for their spouse. I adore this person. They have so much integrity, so much kindness. They're so genuine. Like, I adore this person that booked the session. So I'm in the session with their spouse, and we're basically talking for like, I don't know, 30 minutes already. And I'm kind of confused as to why the session was booked, because it's kind of like, well, it sounds like you don't need my input for anything, right? Because he's very intelligent. And then I'm like, okay, we're already here. Let me just keep listening. Eventually, I'll gain understanding as to why we are here sharing this space. It took me almost an hour. And then I was like, oh, this session wasn't for you. And the spouse was like, basically, right? And I was like, no, it's for your spouse. And they're like, yes. And I was like, call them over. I had to get all of this information before I could even understand this was never for them. This was for the person who booked it, who, again, full of integrity, kindness, compassion, extreme intelligence. Just, I have nothing but goodness to share about this individual. And they didn't know that the session was really for them. They had no idea. I had no idea. And I was very intensely listening for like almost an hour already. Like, what? I don't understand. And then finally, I had to be like, I'm not going to waste this opportunity. I need to understand how I'm supposed to assist, because, first off, this session's not cheap for them. Secondly, I respect and adore this person so deeply that I don't ever want to provide a subpar experience for a session that they've bought. And when I framed it in that way, then I was able to be told by both their souls how this connects together and what I'm supposed to actually be sharing with them to help really powerfully push them forward towards some very pronounced financial stability. I have all these skills. It took me hella long to figure out like what is going on here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was enjoying the conversation. But I'm not being paid to simply conversate. Like, I'm here to provide a service, and I have to provide that service at the highest degree with my integrity intact. I can't just be like, oh yeah, okay, I don't know why I'm here, right? That's not acceptable to me. So even if someone has integrity, I have integrity. Even if they're skilled, I have skills. It doesn't mean they're going to know how to advise you personally. You have to think for yourself during this period. And once you come to conclusions on your own terms at your own time, allow yourself to become so passionate about what you know you need to do. The world is going to do whatever it does. That is the reality. The world will do whatever it is going to do. That is the reality. What you need to do, it must be based on what you know you need to do. And if you don't know what you need to do for yourself, this is the perfect time. It's such a powerful space to exist in when you don't know, when you feel lost, when you're confused. And people might be like, no, that's weakness. That's like, if you don't know, how is that powerful? Well, when you become aware that you don't know, that then opens you to the potentiality of choosing to find out. If you don't know, then there's nothing really for you to work towards. You know, these people who think they know everything, right? But do they know what they don't know? No. So then how do they know how much they actually know? They don't. They don't. And if they don't know how much they know and how much more they need to know, they won't know what direction to explore. They won't know how far they could potentially take it. And if you're in a mindset of you think you know everything, that you've already done everything, you've already ascended, you've already this, you've already that, that's a surefire way to get ensnared. And if I'm really going to be forthcoming with my personal opinion, if you're in that mindset, you're already ensnared. It's just a matter of time before you're fully breached and utilized as a drone to further whatever the plan actually is. Being in a space of humbleness, knowing however much you know, there's still so much more to learn. And because you don't know how much more there is to learn, you're just going to stay open to the potentiality of learning more. Such a powerful place to exist. This is why I will never identify myself as something more elevated than someone else. I don't know how much you know. You probably know things I don't know. I would love to know. I would love to learn. But I mean, you know so much. Yeah, but I don't know what you know. You want to exchange? I'll tell you what I know. You tell me what you know. We could both know. And then we'll find another friend who knows things neither of us know. And we'll share with them what we know, and they share with us what they know. And then we're going to know more. And then we'll find another friend and another friend and another friend. This is how you open yourself to embracing the value, the innate value of other people. This is how you eliminate the compete, compare program. I don't need to compete or compare with you because you have a complete different skill set and wealth of knowledge that I know nothing about. I can't compete with you. I can't compare with you. You're built for something else. But I want to know too. I'm kind of nosy that way. I want to know too. I want to learn too. I want to know. Just to know. Is it because I'm going to try and replace you? No, I could never. I could never replace you because, again, I can't do what you do. I can't do what you do. I can only do what I'm supposed to do. But that doesn't mean that just because you can't do what I can do, that I'm somehow better than you. This new world order that's happening, it's designed to tear us apart at the seams. It's designed to make us very, very afraid of each other. This rat race of you might get more than me, you might be more than me, people might like you more than me. Hey, listen, I've been disliked by people my whole life. That's okay. I genuinely feel that. That's okay. Not everyone's going to like me. I mean, how can you say that? That's so sad. It's like you don't love yourself. No. It's not that I don't love myself. It's that it's okay if you don't like me, because you were never going to be able to receive the gravity of the way I can love you. And it's also okay that you don't like me and want nothing to do with me, because that leaves more space for people who are in resonance with me. And let me tell you, my circle is so beautiful, so amazing. I feel so safe, so loved, so protected. Like, I'm not left feeling exposed and alone anymore. Why? Because the very few people who are in my circle, powerful people who have no desire but to love me as deeply as I love them. No competition, no comparison, no nothing. No nothing at all, except just love, just loving. That's it. So if someone doesn't like me, that's okay. That's less drama for me. Because I used to be in this space of like, but I want everyone to like me. I want everyone to see that I am a good person, that I don't do bad things. I just want to help. Not everyone is capable of seeing that. If they can't see that true for themselves, I promise you they will not see that as true for anyone else. They just won't. They won't. I had my social media person had clipped out a portion of a live stream that I did, and then they posted it on TikTok. And I was talking about very candidly about how I never forced my husband to change himself or do things, but I will let him know, like, you're upsetting me with this, and this, right? He'll let me know too. He will let me know too if I'm upsetting him. And we don't force each other to change. It's kind of just like, you need to think about it on your own. Like, is what you're holding on to more important than the way it's making me feel? Because if it is, then hold on to it. But just know that if you hold on to something that's going to continue to disrespect my existence and make me feel some type of ugly way, that's going to degrade our relationship. The same thing for him, right? And someone commented that I was a manipulator. That's just manipulation, because he's going to do whatever it takes to make you happy. He's going to do whatever you want. No, my husband does whatever the fuck he want to do. He literally will. You know how irritated I am about Pokemon? I got to deal with that myself, because he's not doing anything wrong. And he's told me that. He's like, there's not much that I do. I'm going to keep doing my Pokemon. And I'm just like, fine. Fine. Because really, what is he doing wrong? Nothing. Nothing. He wants to do that. There's not much else that he enjoys doing. So let him enjoy himself, right? And I respond to this guy with a video, and I'm like, and I'm not so much offended that you're accusing me of being manipulative, because you don't know me. Therefore, your opinion of me means nothing to me. What I'm offended about is the fact that you would imply that my husband is less than what I deserve, less than who he is, less than. No, I won't allow that. And he's like, oh, you silver tongued devil. Be careful with that temper. I'm kind of too old to not address that mother wound that you project onto everyone else. This concept of all women are wicked and manipulative, fix that within yourself. And he looked like he was probably close to my age. He probably thought I was much younger than him. He looked like he's maybe, I don't know, 4 years older than me, 3 years older than me. I don't give a shit. We're too old to be acting that way. We're too old to be acting that way. We have to hold ourselves accountable for what's happening, because this new world order is going to pick apart all of those old traumas. The vibration that we are experiencing, this is an internally held energy. The vibration is the traumas that you've held inside you your entire life, begging to be released out into creation. I know Geminis do whatever they want. I'll give you guys a little bit of relationship awareness, okay? Not advice, but awareness. This is what I learned being married to a Gemini, being loving him for 26 years at this point. A lot of our conflict in the earlier part of our relationship, it had to do with him lying. And it was this thing of like, why would you not just tell me what you were doing? Right? For example, this comes to mind. I told him we're not going to eat fast food anymore. And he goes ahead, because he's going to do whatever the fuck he wants. He goes ahead, he stops at McDonald's before he comes home for work, but he throws it away in our trash can inside our apartment, right? This is super early into our relationship. He throws it away in our apartment. It's probably his way of letting me know, like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, but I don't want conflict, so I'm not going to say it to you. And I go to throw something away because I'm making dinner, and I see a McDonald's bag in there. It's crumpled, covered with a paper towel, but it's in our trash. And I was like, did you eat McDonald's? And he's like, no. Oh, that was a drag out fucking fight, because it's like, why are you lying? Right? Like, why would you lie about that? What the fuck? Are you lying about other shit that's more serious? If you're going to lie about McDonald's, are you lying about things more serious? Like, what are you now hiding from me? Okay, I have trust issues. I have abandonment issues. I have rejection issues. I have all these issues from childhood. It's triggered all of that. All of that is now triggered. Now I'm wrathful. Now I'm going to be really nasty. You're a fucking liar. And he's like, you're crazy. Oh, now I'm going to be even more upset because, like, now you're gaslighting me. Yo, relationship awareness took me many years to see with clarity what was happening there. And I don't think he was fully aware of what his behaviors were telling me and what his behaviors really meant. All he was thinking about was like, I'm gonna fucking have my Big Mac. I'm the one working. I'm gonna have my Big Mac if I want to have a Big Mac. I can laugh about it now, but that shit wasn't funny when it was happening. It was not funny when it was happening. I looked back, it took me years, and I finally came into a space of clarity. He wasn't a liar. He was aware of how it would affect me and how I would wild out. And he didn't want me to get upset, but he wasn't going to do anything he didn't feel he should do. He was not going to be forced to do anything. But as a Gemini, he'd tell you, okay. To me, it's like, why are Geminis fucking liars? They're not. They just don't trust you with the reality of their needs if you can't honor who and what they are. So fast forward, maybe, I don't know, like 15 years. 15 years. This poor guy has like taken so much from me. I realized this one day. I realized this, and I was like, listen, you know how I am. You've known me more than half my life at this point. You know me. You really know me. You know all these different sides of me. Wouldn't you rather just stand your ground and be like, listen, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. You're not going to tell me what to do. Maybe say it in a nicer way, of course. And just tell me, like, no, this is what I'm going to do. Like, just say it. And then let me deal with how I feel about it. I don't get to just scream at you and yell at you. Let me deal with my own triggering. But at least I can't accuse you of being a liar. And we've been together for how many years? Like, I'm literally not going anywhere. I'm not. Let's just be realistic. I'm not going anywhere. And no matter what you say and do, I'm just going to be mad at you anyways. I'm going to be mad at you, and then I'm going to get over it. And you just let me go through my little process. I let you go through your little process. I go through my little process, and we've both respected each other in that process. He's like, okay. Yeah. Relationship awareness. I no longer have this insatiable need to try and dictate and control him, because I realize I was the very reason why he felt like he couldn't be honest. He's still responsible for his actions, but I was the very reason why he felt that way. It wasn't because he was disrespecting me. It was because he loves me so much and he couldn't reconcile the differences between his wants and needs and my demands. Unrealistic, unreasonable, unfair demands. Right? And then more recently, so sometimes he'll, I think, feel like he has no choice but to work out. Because it's true. You have no choice. I will go to the gym without you. So he'll force himself out of bed so he can accompany me to the gym. Well, there's times where he's exhausted and he'll be like, I'll drive you, but I'm too tired. I'm like, okay. And then he went through some health stuff, became aware of some health stuff. And as he was being assessed for that health stuff, the doctor was like, oh, beautiful. You know, these other components that if it was questionable, you'd have to go to the ER. They look very healthy. It's very good. It's very strong, very healthy. So, you know, we'll just start you on a treatment plan and you can go home. And then he realized, like, holy shit, it's because I go to the gym all the time that it's not a compounded, far worse medical situation. Right? Oh, I gotta go. Thank you, Meryl. I was like, la, la, la. I gotta go. Class is starting. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I will most likely be live today here on TikTok. Here on YouTube to do expedites. Here is the link. If you would like to get expedites, please make sure that you click on that QR code or the link in the comments. I'm gonna go ahead and just get that ready, and then I'm starting my class. All right, click on that. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye, everybody.